Hey everyone, I'm Jay Heilman, host of Kingdom Builder TV. We're here live in Tampa, Florida at the Yuengling Center, formerly the USF Sundome. We're here for Winter Jam 2024. And if you've been to Winter Jam before and you've seen Newsong play on stage, which if you've ever been to Winter Jam, Newsong's here every year. This gentleman next to me is not only a phenomenal guitarist, but he is also been a part of this tour for quite some time now.
21 years.
Yeah, Rico Thomas here. He's a guitarist for Newsong. Rico, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
It's good to have you on here and finally get an interview with you.
Yeah.
And I was telling you pre-interview, I've kind of joked over the years that whenever I see you, you know with the beanie and the sunglasses, you kind of have that Joe Satriani look, and pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I've been told that by many people. Years ago, I started it just not wearing a hat and wearing my cool sunglasses, and people come up to me and say, "You look like Joe," you know.
So who wore it first? Yeah, who wore it first?
I think I was doing this first before Joe was way back.
Okay.
You can go back to some old videos of Newsong, you can see me doing it.
Give you the credit for it.
But it was fun. But then we decided, maybe I should wear a hat. That might be kind of a cool look.
Yeah.
So we started this whole hat thing. But with the sunglass thing, man, I had kids coming up to me like, "I want those sunglasses." I'd take a trip out to Hollywood and LA, and I'd find cool sunglasses, but I couldn't give them up. I did give up one pair. And next thing you know, this kid's up at the merch table like 4 years later. "I got your sunglasses." It was such a big thing for him. I said, "Do you want to give them back to me? Because I can't find another pair like that." But so yeah. Anyway, that was fun times, man.
So 21 years you've been with Newsong. You've been on the Winter Jam tour, and I was talking to Russ Lee earlier, and Winter Jam will be around for 30 years next year. So you've been along for that ride for over half those years. How did you join Newsong? How did you get involved in Newsong?
I took about a 4-year hiatus off the road back in that time when I had a kid, and I decided to stay home and raise my child. I got an offer, got a call from Shania Twain at that time for her tour, and I just said I couldn't do it. I'm just time to stay home, So previously was touring really hard in Nashville with different artists through the years, and just decided that I got to stay home for a bit.
Will we know any of those artists?
Yeah. I'll tell you a real short, brief history. I moved to Nashville. I was playing secular music out in Los Angeles, California, with a pop star, Michael Damian. I was on the Young and Restless for about 5 years with him, and we toured with him. He had a big song called "Rock On" back in the day, in the late '80s, and so I left that and I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, not knowing what I was going to do. I thought I was going to be a blues artist, guitar player. Almost moved to Austin, and here I'm in Nashville, not knowing what I'm going to do. So I started going to the local clubs, sitting in, went to a jam session, someone says, "Hey, man, you'd be great with this artist. You need to give their management a call." So I called them up and got an audition. I went down there, auditioned, and got the audition. Well, they didn't call me back for about a week. So I basically, called them back. I said, "Hey, what happened? You guys seem to like what I did." And they go, "Well, we didn't think you'd want to do it because of your resume and what you've done, over all the years, that you wouldn't want to do this." I go, "Well, I think I would. I love the music." It was Margaret Becker. She was way back in the day. And she said, "Well, come back down. We would love to have you." So I went back, we interviewed, got the tour. That started out my Christian career right there. And from Margaret Becker to Out of the Gray back in the day. And we did tour with Susan Ashton. And then that went to, started working with Charlie Peacock, a major, amazing producer in Nashville. Became great friends, and then that led to did a DC Talk tour, Jesus Freak tour in '95, I think it was, and then that led to Michael W. Smith, and I did the Michael W. Smith tour next. But then I was tired of the road for a little bit, and that's when I took the break and stayed off the road. 4 years went by, so it was time to get back on the road again, and I started working with CeCe Winans for a year. And CeCe Winans, and I was working with Rachel Clay Cross, all three of them for the year. And I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, playing the gospel festival, and the guitar player was there from Newsong. Said, "How do you just sub for 2 weeks? Can you come in and sub for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to. Who's Newsong?" I did not know who Newsong was, so I came in and subbed for 2 weeks. Joel was his name, Joel Higgins. He said he wasn't going to come back. Huggins. He said he was going to come back to the gig if you want to keep it. So Eddie Carswell, founder of Newsong, him and Billy, good one. Eddie, we went for a walk one day, and we were talking, and he goes, "Hey, the guys seem to like you. Let's just see how it goes." if you want to stay, you know, stay for a while, see how it goes. So next thing you know, 21 years later,
2 decades
here I
later,
am.
you're still here.
Never said a word. I just kept playing weekend after weekend, month after month, year after year. And that's been kind of my main thing. But still being able to be a freelance musician during all this, which is awesome. We only do 110 dates a year, so
yeah.
Give me time free up to work with other artists as well out of Nashville.
That was gonna be my next question. Is like, you know, the Winter Jam tours particularly is like a 3-month tour, you know, from January to March each year, and I'm curious like kind of what the other musicians like do during the time that they're not in the band. So like, so you basically still go out and do the studio work and stuff?
Yeah, as much studio work as you can do. You know, I write and do my own music, and I produce my own records. So, you know, that's really fun for me to do outside of Newsong. It gives me creative outlet to experiment and do something I normally wouldn't do, you know, or get a call for a session to do. So I make different kinds of styles of music and records. And
now, do you sing and play guitar, or you just
sing? I play, you know, I play guitar, sing.
Because I tell you what, every year when I see the Winter Jam tour the last 20 years, I really look forward to seeing, because they let you kind of break out during one of the songs and kind of jam it up, and I love that, because I'm a guitarist too. I've been playing for almost 27 years now.
Oh, wow.
So when I see other guitarists, that's something that's really exciting for me.
Yeah. I think, I've been very blessed and fortunate through all the artists I've got to work with through the years. I think they've seen that in me, that I'm just not a guitar player. You know, I'm an artist, I'm a soloist, I'm a performer, and I've always been that guy, usually left of the lead singer in most situations. You know, where like, yeah, we want you to be out here in front with Michael Smith and with so-and-so, and just go out here and Margaret Becker, and you go out and do solos, and that's been my role as a player in Christian. So basically, it gave me that option and freedom with all my tours. I've been able to play.
Yeah.
I just don't have to just sit there and play parts all night. You know, I mean, I get the chance to worship and express myself, you know, like a singer does.
Yeah.
And that's been my whole ministry, is like that gift of being able to improvise.
And you look, and every time I see you perform, you genuinely look like you are having a blast up there. And I know that, like, as far as Christian music goes, my other like guitarist that I was telling is like criminally underrated is Lincoln Brewster. You and Lincoln Brewster, to me, are like, just, I love seeing you guys play. I enjoy seeing the Winter Jam tour every year, and just being able to see that. You know, speaking of guitar, you know, let's do a rundown of your rig. Like, what's your favorite guitar? You know, I've seen you play the Gibson up on stage. What would you say is your favorite guitar to play while you're on the tour?
You know, I played with Newsong. I've played a Les Paul for many years with Newsong. It's one of my favorite guitars, and I had a relationship with Gibson Custom Shop. So I ended up getting a Gibson Custom Shop 1960 Les Paul, you know, Honeyburst. And I love that thing so much. I love it so much that I'm not taking it out as much anymore, because I'm worried about breaking the neck. And these things are so expensive now, right? So I'm worried about it falling over, breaking the neck on it. You know. So anyway, a company that I've been working with, J. Chester Amps, he built me a signature guitar. He gave me an amp to use. He said, "I'd like to build you a guitar." And he goes, "What would you want?" And I basically just said, "This is what I would like in a guitar." And I built my own guitar. So it's like the Rico Thomas model that he makes. And it's the red one that I'll have out tonight.
That's cool.
You'll see it, yeah. It's been really one of my favorite, you know, guitars to play, besides my Les Paul.
You know, we saw Winter Jam several years ago with the Newsboys, and I was shocked to go backstage and see Jody building a guitar. He was actually back there building a guitar that he was going to play, I think, the following day. So like, that was really cool. Now, as far as guitarists go, who would you say inspires you? Like, maybe a guitarist that is the reason why you play guitar today?
Well, I started playing at 7 years old, so I'm pretty old now. But you can imagine, back in the day, probably, you know, my mother was buying me records, the Beatles, you know, George Harrison and John Lennon, Rolling Stones. I come from a secular background in music. So, you know, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix was a big, you know, at 12, 13, I was playing Jimi Hendrix solos. And I would sit there with record players, and I would just pick up a needle, and I would pick out the notes, middle phrase, pick it out, and I wore my records out, and that's how I learned how to play.
So you're self-taught?
Yeah, I didn't have, well, I was taking lessons too, but mainly that was the learning process. We didn't have YouTube, so you had to depend on your ear, and it was awesome ear training to be able to just sit there with a needle and try to listen to what he played and try to find it and get it back. So that's how I learned a lot of stuff in the rock and blues stuff, and I loved R&B and soul music and all that stuff too. But pretty much just always played everything, every style I could play, anything I could learn. But guitar players were not my major influence, really. It was more like John Coltrane.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I started studying jazz at 14, and I went through all the guitar players. I couldn't learn any more of the big rock star guitar players. So at that point, I started studying with jazz players, Ronnie S.J. out in LA, and Ted Green was a chord master, wrote books, amazing books. And I had many teachers privately through the years. And so I would study and I'd learn, and at a very young age, I was very blessed to be able to play with artists. At 15, I was playing in clubs with jazz people,
yeah.
You know, and subbing for my teacher. So that gave me the most inspiration. So I went through all the jazz drummers: Wes Montgomery, George Benson, Pat Martino, Pat Metheny. I would learn as much as I could from those guys. I'm like, okay, I'm learning to do my own thing. I want to learn from them, but I want to make it my own. And that's especially why I just created my own style playing. I learned all the theory I could, and studied, went to arranging and composing school, and did anything musically I could do. I sight read, from a major conductor out in LA. It's funny because he was a horn player, not a guitar player, but he taught guitar players. He taught like Jay Graydon, Lee Ritenour, people like that, how to sight read.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
I can read trumpet music, but I can't read guitar music. I have to have tablature.
I used to read
or
trumpet music on guitar.
I have to have chords in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I've been playing for 27 years, but I'm more of a rhythm guitarist.
Oh, yeah.
But in the last couple of years of playing, I've learned how to play, like one of my favorite guitarists growing up, somebody that I heard on the radio all the time. It's now considered classic rock. Pink Floyd, David Gilmour.
Yeah, I love David.
David Gilmour is just like comfortably known as like one of the best guitar solos of all time, and I actually learned how to play both of those solos. Not the best, but it was challenging enough to me to where it's like, okay, I feel accomplished as a guitar player because I've been able to learn one of the best guitar solos of all time, and it's just,
I know,
it's amazing.
When you're young, you're hungry to learn all that stuff, but then you get to a certain point, it doesn't really matter too much anymore. It's just because you know what's behind it. You know how to create your own ideas from learning that stuff.
I play for fun though. It's for fun. It's a way for me to relax and stuff. Yeah. But going back to this tour, the last question for you as far as the tour goes, Winter Jam, 21 years you've been on this tour. What are you most looking forward to for this particular tour? I mean, you pretty much done it all. You play with every artist in Christian music basically over the last 21 years. But what do you most look forward to when you're going out on one of these 3-month tours?
I look forward to the people. I look forward to the fellowship out here, relationships that we build. Being able to, if someone needs you, if they need prayer, to come up to you, they come up to me. A lot of times they come up to me. I go, why are you coming up to me? You maybe should be going to Russ Lee. But the thing is they feel led to, and I'm like, I can't fight that. I mean, that's God. Yeah. So we just feel led to come to you, to speak to you, and I'm a good listener, and I love doing that stuff. When I used to go to the table every night and sign, I got so many people coming up there, people off the street, homeless mothers with children with them. Can you please pray for us? And we would go. I said, you wait here. When I'm done signing, I'll come around the corner and we'll pray. I spent 30 minutes with a lady one night that was homeless and talked to her. So those are special moments out here, and you don't want to walk away from them. You don't want to just. A lot of times people get too busy and as they run, and I'm just like, hey, I'm here. If you come up to me and talk to me, I'm gonna talk to you back, and that's what I love about it. And that's why I think I've got a lot of friends, a lot of little fans out here that, because I do spend the time with them. Yeah. It's just not about the music for me, and I love playing, but I only play 20 minutes a night on the show. But you just sit around, you wait for God to use you. That's all you can say. God, please use me for this tour. Do something special, please. I just want to be out here and be taking up space. So He always finds a way, and that's kind of what I look forward to. one day when I don't do it, I will totally miss the people. You know, miss the great music and songs and new song writes that we do too. But really, it's the people and the relationships you build over 21 years that matter. And I'll still continue those relationships after I stop touring.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like about what we do, you know, with today's Christian and Kingdom Builders, that the relationships we've built over the last 20 years. I mean, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, being able to see you guys, and not only be like, you know, media and stuff like that, but we look at what we do as kind of an extension to what you guys are doing on the stage. And I've always enjoyed being a part of that, being along for the ride for what you guys do. So I appreciate what Newsong does. I appreciate being able, as a guitarist, being able to come out and see like somebody just tearing it up on stage every night that I come see you. But it's been a pleasure the last 20 years seeing you, man.
You know, you want to give them all you can.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is you can't, because you can't give someone a lifetime of playing music in one night or one solo. And that's the thing. You know, people see you do one thing, but in a lot of musicians, so capable of doing so much more.
Yeah.
And you only get a little brief moment to do something within context of the song. You know, so, you know, people will see me play, they go see me do one thing in Nashville, and all of a sudden they'll something go, oh, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you did this kind of music, or you did this or that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what's so cool about being a musician. You know, it's just like, it's like knowing a bunch of different languages. You know, speak Japanese or Spanish or Italian, you know, but you can play these different styles of music. But when you play those styles, you're convincing in playing that style of music. You're not doing a lot of crossover stuff. So.
Hey everybody, we're here with Rico Thomas from Newsong, and he's going to do like kind of a guitar tutorial, like show us the guitars that he uses on the Winter Jam tour. And we're actually in Tampa at the Yuengling Center, the USF Sundome, and he's going to show us. So these are the guitars that you use, like the tour stuff?
So we'll talk about this one first. This is a boutique guitar. It's a RJJ. So it's basically Jay Chester Guitars who built me a signature guitar. So it's my own personal guitar. We took a Jag Master and a Jazz Master style guitar and kind of did the whole thing. So I angled the pickups in here, put Jag pickups in it, do some different electronics so you can actually get all three pickups, any combination of all these pickups you want by this, and you got a volume 2 for.
Yeah, I noticed that most times they're tilted, the top two are tilted and the bottom one's kind of straight, so you have them all three tilted.
They're all at this angle.
So this is a Jazz Master?
It's a Jag
Master with
Jaguar
Jaguar
Jazz Master, basically.
Okay.
So we did a lot of just really fine adjustments to that style of guitar. We put a jack down here as opposed to being here, which was on the pick guard. These usually are up here, which I'd always hit my hand on that when I was playing. So we moved them down, tone and volume, pickup selector, and this gives you the options of doing different combinations here.
Right.
And that's just like a Strat sort of setup on that 5-way.
So what's your string preference? Like what?
10 to 46.
10 46.
Yeah,
and you use
Diodarios.
Diodarios. Okay,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are nice.
And we have a version that's a tremolo as well, which is like a Jazz Master tremolo. The radius goes from a 10 to a 12, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's tapered as it goes. Nice, you know, not too thick of a neck and not too thin. Very light
Yeah, I
instrument.
noticed that.
Very retro sounding. Yeah, so it's very, very cool guitar. Strat keys on it. So anyway, that's basically his guitar. I use his amps as well. So I have a deluxe, 50s deluxe.
So this was the custom guitar you were talking
Yeah,
about?
this is the custom one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Fiesta Red.
That's nice.
What do you call those? Can't remember the name of those. Mastery Bridge.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I noticed doesn't have the floating bridge on it. It's got
No, but we have a version that has one on it as
Yeah.
well, which is very cool. And then this is the other. This is my. I've been using this for slide. It's a little bit older Telly deluxe with wide range pickups in it. 3-way switch. This is very cool guitar. I love this thing.
Now, what year is this? How old is this guitar?
I've had it for about 12 years. I think it's maybe 18 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not super old, but not new. Definitely different than the new ones.
Yeah.
But it's very nice. It's real warm sounding. I use it for slide, so I set it up to play slide on this set. And then I got the board, which I just changed out for this tour, which is basically I took all my pedals off and decided to put on this Quad Cortex and give it a shot. You know,
That's
that
nice.
way we can just go direct.
So
But I'm running out.
This is the maiden voyage of this board.
Yeah, so I'm running out of this into the board mains, and then I've got 1/4 inches going into both guitar amps.
Okay.
So I've got both going on here. A few pedals just to add to this thing, and then a delay and a loop, so I can call up a preset that has a loop on it. And just
And you're
click
all
off.
wireless as far you're
Yeah,
wired.
I'm wondering.
wireless.
This is the wireless right here,
Okay.
QLC. It's amazing wireless. Seems like I've
Have you
never
found
had
that there's a
problem.
difference in sound quality when you from going from wireless to traditional
Yeah, a
recording?
little bit. It's a little more. It's a little brighter. You know, you lose a little low end. So it's definitely different. I prefer the hard wire, but I've got to be mobile, so I'm moving around. And these little mini volume pedals are cool, and volume pedals.
That is cool.
This is kind of a low gain thing, and this is kind of a Tim Pierce thing. He was a session guitar player in LA. Big name out there, and he made a pedal.
And so you're in the process now of pre-show, like going through the programming, making sure you have all your presets.
Yeah, that's
and
been
everything.
my thing. Trying to dial in. This is the first time I've used this live. I've used it in the studio with just calling the presets, but I've never dug into it deeply. And it gets really involved, like crazy involved.
Yeah.
So I'm tweaking and trying to get it right. Hopefully I can get it closer tonight than last night. We'll see. If not, I'll go back to my amps.
So I'll try there.
I love amps more than anything. The
That's
Winter
awesome.
Jam, the set is so quick, so you have a short time between groups to get up there, get your stuff up there, plug in, and play. And then you got to get then stuff has to come off between each artist. So it's very hard for a lot of musicians. So everyone, I think I've seen 3 of these on stage, and I've seen about 5 Kempers. I mean, everyone's going direct. There's a few amps, and that's about it.
I have a small amp. It's a positive grid, and I love it.
Yeah,
It's not a
yeah.
huge amp, but
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
got
have
huge
to be.
sound.
It does.
For and I don't have any pedals. I use a digital interface on my iPad, a Spark.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
so-
basically just because I don't play live, I just play as a hobby. So just switching back and forth between it. So
People don't realize that you're only miking this much of a speaker, you know, a small part of the speaker. And it doesn't matter if you got 412s or 812s or whatever, you're not capturing that sound. You're just capturing that part of that speaker.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's small. Actually, low wattage amps are better than the big high
I
ones.
love it. Well, Rico, I appreciate you
Yeah.
showing us Rico Thomas, Newsong, showing us his rig here and his amazing guitars. And Winter Jam is going on now until March. So if you want to see this amazing guy play guitar along with the other cool bands that are on this tour, come on out. Go to jamtour.com to see all of the dates, and you'll see Mr. Rico up there shredding like Joe Satriani.
I won't wear my glasses though. I'll leave my hat on.
We'll have to
so.
we'll have to get him some glasses for the tour. Well, thank you so much, Rico.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it,
Thank you
brother.
guys. Thank you.